Hello and welcome to Ferris Sports Update. I'm your host, Rob Bentley, and thanks for tuning in. On today's show, we'll update you on a memorable win for Ferris State football as the Bulldogs capture the GLIAC Championship. We'll check in with Bulldog soccer as they gear up for postseason play and also talk Bulldog hockey coming off a big win. We'll start first, though, with Bulldog football and joined by Coach Tony Annese. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Rob.
I know a crazy game on Saturday and a memorable one for the fans. Maybe not so much for those of you that were involved, but fortunate to come away with a big win. Double overtime over Saginaw Valley.
Yeah, huge win. Credit to our guys, being down 17 in the third quarter and coming back and winning. It's huge for us, obviously, but it's been that way. In 21 we played them to overtime. We won the national championship. In 22 we beat them, I think, 33-28 over there. Barely won. We won the national championship, and in 24, we beat them over here 27-24, and we won the national championship. But hopefully it's a good omen. I mean, they always play us tough. It's been crazy games with them, and so just happy to get out of there with a W.
Of course, you guys, with the win, improved to 10-0 and win the GLIAC Championship, and I know that's one of the first goals you guys have each and every year.
Yeah, we have 4 goals. We've achieved 2 because we get the automatic qualifier, so we know we're in the playoffs. So making the playoffs, winning GLIAC Championships, goal number 1, then making the playoffs is goal number 2. So we've achieved 2 of our 4 goals. Our third goal is to win every game. So we have to beat Davenport on Saturday to do that. And then our 4th goal is to win the national championship, so which is a long ways away. So we won't even think about that 4th goal. But third goal's on our mind now. Very happy to achieve the first 2 goals.
As we go to the highlights of the game, we'll start. And obviously, turnovers a big factor here, especially in the first half of this contest.
Yeah, so 2 weeks ago we went into this season, into that week, as the number 1 turnover margin team in the nation. And then we do this. So pretty crazy. That's what football's all about, and that's why you play the games. And so pretty wild start, once we made 1 turnover, I think it ended up, just stacking on top of each other, and that's the way it cannot happen. And so I told Wyatt, I said, dude, we've won 10 games as a starter, 10-0, pretty cool stuff, but obviously Chase saved him on this one.
Of course, 3-0 here at the end of the first quarter. The defense, you look at it, give up 45 points, but they had their backs against the walls and really played some great football.
Yeah,
at
the
times.
defense played great. I mean, it was one of those games where, we just kept on throwing them into bad spots, and it was very challenging for them. But, people will look at the number and say, oh, they gave up this many points. Well, no, the defense was awesome, and particularly, Tim Allen and Stanley Lambert were incredible in this game. So it is what it is. Sometimes the defense plays great, the offense doesn't. Sometimes the other way around. But it's just the way it is. And to be able to be a complete team, you got to play great in all aspects.
Of course, here Mason McKenzie able to scramble around and get a big touchdown here before halftime. He's a talented quarterback.
Yeah, he's super player, and obviously puts a lot of stress on our defense. And with us not being efficient on offense, it just added to the complications.
What was the discussion at halftime? Down 10 here, and obviously here early in the third quarter, it'll be a 17-point ball game.
Just trying to keep him confident, trying to keep Wyatt believing, because he's had an awesome week, and then he threw that pick there. We're trying to get him easy passes that were really comfortable for him, but mentally he was just, he's a redshirt freshman, and when things go bad, that's one of the things he's got to work on, is just to overcome, adversity, and he will. He's a super player, and he's played well for us all year.
You're a big throw after you cut the lead down. Chase with a big throw here to the end zone, and that gets you right back in the ballgame.
Yeah, we wanted to throw the ball on him early, but then we just got so out of sync, and obviously threw 4 picks in the game. And here's a pick by Jay Pay, who it's a huge play, and all of a sudden we were down by 17, and now we're scored 3 straight touchdowns, and we're up by 3.
Of course,
4.
You're kind of a back and forth fourth quarter of action. It seemed like neither team really able to establish a lead that was comfortable here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, we made a mistake. Obviously, it's a huge play, but we made a mistake here and gave him a short field. We threw another pick. Carson threw it, and so Carson was 1 for 1, and it was a pick. And so, but this, they we're offsides on the first kickoff. We made him kick it again, and this is just Brady Rose doing what Brady Rose does and giving us a short field, and we end up going down and scoring here. Chase hits Cam here on a great play, and that put us ahead, and then we kicked a field goal. That's not on the highlights, but we kicked a field goal and go up by 7, and then they score right before the end of the half, or the end of the game, and then we had a chance to make a field goal, but Eddie made it once, but he really had a great day, Eddie did.
Of course, here in overtime, you guys get the ball first, and big play here to score right away with Brady finding Tay Boyd here in the end zone.
Yeah, well, you know, what better than to put it in Brady Rose's hand, right? You know, he's going to either make a great play or not make a disaster of a play, so very confident in his skill set.
Of course, you hold them to a field goal here, and they're not able to connect on this one, and that gives you an opportunity to win the game here, and we'll see Tariq Brett make a great play here to get to the end zone.
Yeah, I loved Chase's composure. Reek makes a great cut, but Chase was so smooth and executed our system so great that it was comforting to know that he was the man, and it was a huge win for us.
Of course, big win here. Now you close out the regular season. Another tough test here going on the road to Davenport coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, always a tough test. You know, I think the conference schedule is different next year, but how is it that we play two of the former assistants that were with me here at Ferris for quite a long time? We play them second to last and last. So, you know, they know us well, and so it's hard. It's really hard. You know, their preparation, you know, between, you know, Ryan Brady and Sparky McEwen and the coaches of Saginaw and Davenport, and Sparky's son, AJ, played for us. So they'll be ready, and, you know, they've played, you know, pretty well most of the year. You know, had a couple games that I'm sure they want back, but they're a really good team.
Of course, for you guys, not only a chance to close out the regular season with a win here, but obviously important in terms of some of the seeding for the postseason.
Yeah, you know, biggest thing is to finish now being undefeated, and seeding is their seedings, and you got to play them all regardless. I've stopped sweating that detail of it over the course of our time being in the playoffs, and we are guaranteed to be in the playoffs, so that's really a super opportunity for us.
Coaches, this last game proved certainly never easy to go on the road and win in the GLIAC. What will it take to go to Davenport and come back with a victory on Saturday?
Yeah, we've been a great road program since we've been here. I think we've lost 10 games at Top Taggart and 10 games on the road at non-neutral sites. So feel good about it. You know, it's always a competitive game against Davenport, not because of home or away. They played us tough at home last year, but just because they're a really good team. So we got to play really well to beat them.
Well, Coach, congrats on the win and the GLIAC title. Best of luck against Davenport coming up on Saturday.
Thanks, Rob.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.